I think I should stay back right here so people can see me a little bit better in the lighting. But yeah, we're gonna be reading PlayStation fans excited over classic revival teas, posted on May 17th, and it's from Ollie Smith. So that's who's writing this on, what is the name of this place? Let me see. GameandBible.com. Several classic PlayStation titles such as Ape Escape and Infamous. I grew up playing Infamous 1 and 2. I don't remember any of them though. It's so crazy because I don't remember the whole storyline of those franchises, but I remember playing it and I loved the Infamous franchise. But they're being rumored, a huge rumor that like they're pretty, it seems to be a very possibility, a huge possibility that that is definitely happening. And older Sony fans are having a field day. Just looking at the number of original IPs which were on the Sony PlayStation and PlayStation 2, there are a huge number of older franchises that would be ripe for a new modern gen remaster, reboot, or sequel, which would be cool. It'd be cool to jump into a sequel, I would say, with whatever they choose. I think people love, something refreshed, but also the classic. If they just kept the audio and just made the graphics look better, people would love that. I would. But as we continue, following recent rumors regarding Sony's interest in bringing back some of the older intellectual properties, one source has confirmed that there is some truth to it. Oh boy. I hope so. Over on X, formerly Twitter, industry insider Nate the Hate #2 had stated that there is truth to Sony exploring and considering reviving some of their older unused IPs. This is in reference to comments by Video Games Chronicles Jordan Midler on the VGC podcast earlier this week, in which he referenced Ape Escape, Infamous, and Wipeout as a potential franchise Sony should bring back. While it sounds more like hopes and wishful thinking from Midler, Nate the Hate #2 appears to hint at some truth to these rumors. He doesn't have solid information on which franchises are being considered, but Nate the Hate #2's personal picks include Sly Cooper, Resistance, Legend of Dragoon, Motorstorm, Ape Escape, and Infamous. Now, I've never played the Sly Cooper franchise, but I know that's a huge fan favorite. I have played Infamous. I would love to see, Jack and Daxter in this conversation, which I see that it may actually be mentioned in here. Indeed, the rumors have sent PlayStation fans into frenzy, which many users online calling for the return of different franchises under Sony's arm. Over on Reddit, you'll see comments in this thread calling for the return of different IPs. In addition to those listed by Nate the Hate #2, fans also want to see Little Big Planet, Jack and Daxter. I would love Jack and Daxter. Siphon Filter make a return. As the years go by, Sony occasionally likes to toy with bringing back a classic series for a revival to see how it does before using sales data and public interest to determine whether more entries in that franchise should be made. Games like Ratchet Clank Rift Apart, Sackboy, A Big Adventure, and Medieval are examples of revival attempts by Sony to bring games from its PS1, PS2, and PS3 era into the modern generation. Man, I'm telling you right now, with the times we are, people would go crazy bringing back Jack and Daxter, bringing back Ratchet Clank, bringing back Infamous, bringing back SmackDown versus Raw 2006 and 2007 remastered. Like, people would crave, oh, I know they would, the classics that you grew up playing. I don't know why we don't go back to those directions, or even challenging ideas to continue in series. I think a lot of the gaming corporations now, they're so big on not taking risk and looking at the stocks and just money, instead of just what gaming used to be, where you just made a game and you weren't thinking about the money, you weren't thinking of any of that. You were putting like the heart into it, the soul into it, Oh man, it would be so amazing if they tapped more back into the classics. There were so many games too on PlayStation 2 back in the day. There were hundreds. Like, you never missed out on a new game. You could weekly look into a gaming store, and there'd be something new. PlayStation 3 too, they were in their bag back in the day. Infamous especially. I liked Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. what else was there in that time? I know there was the Spider-Man franchise. Spider-Man 3 sucked, but the first two were awesome. And I'm talking about Activision Spider-Man. Spider-Man 3, that game was terrible, trash. But that was like during the time of 360 and PS3. Xbox 360 was freaking amazing though, because you had like Gears of War, Minecraft I played on there. There was like a dirt bike game I played on there too. I may have played Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on Xbox 360. Assassin's Creed, those were really fun games, and you're seeing how Black Flag's getting remastered, and that's why I think there's going to be a direction and a shift where we see a lot more classic games get remastered because of Activision throwing, you know, an old game and remaking it into something clean and repolished. And man, there's so many games that I would love to see repolished. You're even seeing, like, for example, the SpongeBob games that have made a resurgence with THQ Nordic, and they've been doing well with it. Battle of Bikini Bottom, they did Rehydrated, it was okay, but the newest installment, I think people really enjoyed the recent one. They made like 3 so far, which is, I would just love to see more of those cartoon style games again make a resurgence. I really would. Even Ratchet Clank, that was a fun game. I didn't beat it, but I loved Rift Apart. That's really fun. However, with there still being so many underutilized IPs under Sony's belt, there are still a lot of untapped material that the publisher and console manufacturer has yet to bring back for modern revival. With how long games take to make nowadays, it makes sense that Sony would want to diversify its portfolio with smaller games which can be made quicker and on a smaller budget. Between big sequels for franchises like Horizon, Ghost, God of War, and Spider-Man, it works out well to release remasters or sequels to some games in Sony's older library or titles. PlayStation Plus reveals the 8 new free games coming next week. Star Wars Outlaws, Red Dead Redemption 2? Did it say for free? Hold on. PlayStation Plus reveals the 8 new free games coming next week. Sony has announced that the latest lineup of free games that will be hitting PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. The new games coming to PlayStation Plus were announced today, coming to the platform early next week. Members who are subscribed to the Extra or Premium tiers of PlayStation Plus will gain access to these games when they drop. Let's dive into the games coming to PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium this month. PlayStation Plus Extra games. The current lineup of games coming to PlayStation Plus Extra in May 2026 includes the following: Star Wars Outlaws, Red Dead Redemption 2, Bramble the Mountain King, the Thaumaturge, I don't know what that is, Flint Flock, The Siege of Dawn, Broken Sword, Shadows of the Templar Reforged, Intoria, Inatra, The Last Song Standard Edition. I've never heard of that, but Red Dead right here. I don't know what PlayStation Plus Extra is, so maybe it's expensive. It's why you can get this stuff. But Red Dead's a huge game. That's crazy. There are some big picks here this month to choose from: Star Wars Outlaws and Red Dead Redemption 2, which I heard Star Wars Outlaws was a buzzkill. It wasn't, you know, that great of a game. But yeah, those are the top big ones, it looks like, coming to PlayStation Plus, and are 2 big open world games which should provide you with plenty of long playtime, essentially making sure that PlayStation Plus subscription pays for itself. Meanwhile, Bramble the Mountain King and Broken Sword are 2 rather excellent adventure games on a much smaller scope. Finally, the Thaumaturge, I may be pronouncing that wrong. Thaumaturge is a great game for anyone who enjoys isometric RPGs. Overall, it seems to be a very decent month for players who like RPGs or open-ended games. PlayStation Plus Premium games for May include Time Crisis. What else? I'm going more down. Non-PlayStation sequels that are long overdue a reveal: Horizon 3, Last of Us 3, Astrobot 2, Spider-Man 3, Ratchet Clank 10, Ghost 3, Uncharted 5. Ooh, I would love to see that. Oh, yeah. It says it's another title that almost feels as if it's confirmed, but technically it isn't. But I would love to see it. Until Dawn 2, God of War 6, never played those, but I know those were like classic PlayStation 2 games back in the day and all the way to now, because they still continue the series. Oh, Oh, dang. PlayStation 2 refund potential $7 million to PS5 users amid store wrongdoing. That's crazy. All right, so I'm going to leave it here. But yeah, exciting news for anybody that's fans of like classic PlayStation games. Infamous is definitely, to me, I think with the hype it's getting, very possible it's going to make a return. You know what I mean? Make a resurgence. It would fit so perfectly in the times now, for sure. I feel like even Prototype, I don't know if anybody ever played Prototype or Prototype 2. I forgot those storylines too to those games, but I remember the gameplay. Oh my gosh, it was such a fun game.